Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D 4X today, like I do most days, most weekends, not most days. This is a 2D 4X video game, open source, that I'm writing in Godot Net, which is the C# version. This is episode 165. There's quite a few of these. Uh, so I am learning C# and Godot, the engine, and everything as I'm doing this. It takes place in North America. It's a post-apocalyptic strategy game. Uh, and maybe the whole world one day, but North America is the first goal, and we just have these 7 test counties. It's county based, like a Paradox game. Um, Lord Mac, how's it going? How's your evening? I almost said morning because it's my morning. Uh, and so we have these 7 here. This test. This is Oregon, obviously, and this is one in. Uh, this is one in Washington, because we're gonna eventually have like provinces, and yeah, I mean it's a state, but at a province level. But right now we're not doing that yet. Um, let's see. What we're doing today is so when you conquer a county, if you were to go through here, my OBS just like flashed on the screen. I guess it's fine. I don't know what it's doing. If you were to count, like if I was to attack from here to here and take this, we could actually do it. Make sure it works. I don't know why I'm nervous about that. I guess we could lose the battle. I don't know if I like the yes on the right or on the left there. So if you were to attack and take this, we need to copy over what the you can build here. Oh, we're gonna lose this fight though, I think. We're this one on the left. That's something. Oh, look, there's a tooltip there. We're the one on the left, but on the right up here because it's just to be confusing. We're gonna fix that at some point. Yeah, we lost. Beverly, you're not a very good commander, but let's say we did win that. We need to copy over what you can build from this list. So this researcher's office currently wouldn't know. It would probably be right because um, the this faction has the same thing checked off. We wouldn't be right later in the game when other things are researched. So we got to fix that. Coring, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I don't think I'm gonna do the coring thing. Uh, Victoria 3 has that too, or not coring. It has where you uh, integrate them into your governments or whatever, which that kind of makes sense. But it's in. I was actually thinking about that when I was playing Victoria 3 the other day. I was wondering what all that what they're trying to simulate with that. Um, yeah, like with EU4, I feel like that was. Isn't it like kind of a chore? I actually loaded up EU4 and my save game was broken, and so then I closed it as Morocco. After I finished Victoria 3, I finally finished a Paradox game. I was like, I'm gonna continue my Morocco game. The problem, and then I remembered also why I stopped playing is because I don't have the DLC and I don't want to buy it. But there was like a significant feature that Morocco had and I can't remember what it was. It was something to do with trade, and I don't have that DLC, and it was like, oh, I need to do this, and I was like, oh, I can't because I don't have the DLC, and then I don't want to buy them. Yeah, I forget what the process is though. You click it, obviously, and then what do you do? What does it do? What does it take from you while that's happening? Oh, I remember now. It takes like a thing. It takes like your administration stuff. Yeah, 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 and then yeah, I don't know how I'll do that. So one of the things I do want to do is like have different cultures, like have Oregonian culture and then like Washington culture, which would be very similar. But as you like, if you get into Mexico, it's going to be different. Um, and so integrating that into your kingdom would be weird. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. Probably I won't do anything like that. There needs to be some sort of unrest though for when you take a place. But right now we just got to move over these county improvements. We're gonna actually, where was I? Let's cut this out of here. We want all these bugs because we're gonna need to fix stuff. So there's gonna be two different lists basically. Um, the main list, which we're gonna have at the faction level. Then there's gonna be the under construction list will be at the county level, and then the completed will be at the county level. We just need the main list at the faction level because that isn't gonna really change that much. So what do we got here? Faction info. Do we have any other things? Headers? We don't have any other headers in here. Yeah, there's a busted thing right there. Hey, Win, how's it going? The U.S. in real life considers California a state core, but not. Yeah, it's weird. I was just reading vaguely about like how that deal went down, and they didn't want to. Mexico didn't want to give up, but it also was considered like it wasn't that big of a deal. Baja. It wasn't. I'm paraphrasing very badly, honestly, of what I read. Um, I guess I'll just stick it wherever. Above resources. I was seeing if there's a way I could put this. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's not going to be exported. We don't have a constructor on here. Um, Hitting the sauna. Where is this at? So this is going to be added to here. Look, I already had something that was in here that was accessing this. So that's even stranger that I didn't. Huh. Has been added. Yeah, the menus did look good. They look great. Use a constructor as a test. Well, I assume this is working. We tested that yesterday. Let's just get rid of this. It is working. It wasn't, but might not be working now that I'm moving this. Um, let's move this up one. Let's rename this now that add county improvement to all. Actually, no, that's fine because that's the name of that list. Um, I'm actually surprised we're accessing this list so little. All right, so this is going to be kind of where is this at? This is in the county improvement control. This doesn't matter to the, so there's two things. There's like the player part and then there's the AI part. This only matters to the player, so we actually don't need this crap at all. We can just go player. It's actually in the globals though. We can go player, faction data. What does this do though? This is still set up as if you only generate one county improvement of each type. We want people to be able to build. Oh, isn't this what I fucked with yesterday? It is. This is what I fucked with yesterday right before I ended the stream. So we're going to be fucking with this too. Um, I was thinking about putting a summary in here, but I don't think we need one right now. We'll get there. Player faction data once it's more complete. So this is busted, is what it's saying. Except that works right now. We need to build this to be able to test this. Well, it's not going to work anyways. Let's finish what we're doing, I guess. I'm going to hit build on here, and we'll probably get a bunch of errors, I would assume. Yeah, I also loaded up the Hearts of Iron, not that error. I guess we didn't get a bunch of errors. What's the Brony one? The Brony mod? The Hearts Iron, because everyone says it's amazing. So I loaded up that, and then I couldn't make a decision, and then work got in the way on who to start as. Equestria at War, yeah. Everyone says that's like the most amazing Hearts of Iron uh, mod, and I don't think they were joking. And then I couldn't pick between which pony pony group I wanted to be. I don't know their lore. I don't know all the pony lore. It's important. All right, so this is broken. So that's something being broken is expected. So what are we gonna do here? We got to figure out when this opens up. We got to clear improvements. We need to go. So I'm very surprised that this hasn't caused more errors. So what we should be doing, let's see. So how do we get to this list here? Oh, I didn't save this. We need to get to this list. Come on. Come on. Nothing? All right. Let's build it one more time. Since I saved that. I don't know if I just changed one thing or there we go. All right, so generate buildings. We have a summary on here. This has to exist because when the research is marked complete in faction generation, the counties don't exist. So this is talking about that issue where things happen too quickly. And I wrote some code that I really liked, and I was like, this shit is perfect. This is awesome. And then it didn't work. It worked too soon. With a getter setter. So this has to exist for that. So this is what we're doing here. This was not fixed. This needs to go through each faction, and we actually know what the faction is under the county data dot faction data. What is this doing though? So we need to generate buildings. It's going through each county. We don't need it to go through each county. We need to move this. We need to put this in the faction data or generate factions. Now, that's too far. No, that was right. We want to put this in the faction generation because we want it to be generated when the factions are being generated at this faction level. So let's see what we got here. Add starting research, create faction resource. I don't know if this is in the same order as what we do it. Add faction to diplomacy war, create faction node. That happens first, I think. So we'll go. So this is faction generation. So for each faction, let's look at when we make these nodes. I think the nodes come in first, but just in case. Create factions from disk. Create faction node. Yeah. So that comes first. So that will already exist. Faction in faction parent. Cast for faction. And then let's just get rid of this shit. We'll add new things when we need them. For each research item, in faction, so it's going to check the research. If the research item is done and the county research county length improvement data dot length, what the fuck is this? Oh, yeah. So it checks the research item because we have the county improvements assigned to the research item because you have to have research to be able to build it. And then for each one of those in the array, that would be this county improvement data's. I don't know what that is anymore, so I'll get rid of it. Then we're going to go faction. So then it's going to add it to that list we moved over here. Then we can put in we can go, whoops, faction name improvement. Total war system of sorts where you replace all the local elites and they can bribe them or maybe sack the county. So part of it though is I want the people, since each person is um we're simulating each person. Um I want each person to, oh, we got to put this in here, make a decision if they're going to stick around or if they'll just move to a different county. Like if they're in different factions county. Like if you take a, let's say that it's the same faction, some people might just take off and move over to the next one. So maybe integration won't even matter because it's going to be like each person will be, get a hit. Um, so back to Victoria 30, since that's what I played most usually. Sometimes you take over a county and they have like a quality of life there. I forget what the actual name is, of a 5, and your average is 15, and so they're like kind of happy that you took over. I want to definitely have that happen where if you take over a place, it might be Mad Max Anarchy at the county, and you taking it over, they'll be like, oh well, it's actually better. We have food now. You know, food trucks are on the way, not food trucks that you would buy. You know, yeah, the standard of living. Yeah, um, and I actually think that's weird to think about in real life because it definitely was not like that in real life. You know what I mean? Like some country comes and takes over your tiny province of your tiny kingdom in Africa. They were not like, oh well, you're giving us good jobs. That was not happening. So I think we can stick this bill, let's rename it though to something. Create faction. Let's call it add buildings if that's not what I have it already called. Generate buildings. We'll call it add county improvements. Add county improvements. And then we'll do add county. As long as the faction nodes are here, I think it doesn't matter. Add county improvements. Oh, I was passing in a faction data to all these other ones. I guess I can do that. In fact, I think I have to do that. How are we doing this? We're loading that in? Yeah, we'll pass this in. We'll do it like this. Definitely. So I want to have it two different types of thing. If you're going around looting, it's going to be a different, that's going to be like a different command that you send them, if that makes sense. Your armies are not going to be going there for capturing. It's going to be something else. So we're going to put in a faction data. I want to have like rating be like an important part. Like it might be worth. So I don't like how. Um, God, no, I hate it. The Fields of Glory does rating. It's awful. Um, you know what? We don't need that. This is wrong. We don't need this anymore. We need this. This. There we go. I don't know why I switched. Because I've been playing Fields of Glory. That's what I'm talking about. Um, Fields of Glory. That rating is terrible. And there's a bunch of things. Man, I didn't mention that in my stream of Fields of Glory. The rating is so bad in that. You basically you set your army to raid, and then it randomly picks the the county that they're raiding into, any enemy county that's adjacent to them. So it could be any enemy. So if you have two different enemies, um, it's not bad. It's just They didn't think through. So I think they wrote themselves into like kind of a hole, and they didn't want to fix it. Like for that particular thing, like you set your army on something, but when you set it, there's no way to pick anything. And there's like a lot of things that are like that where you set something, but there's no way to pick. And I think they need to add the way to pick things. But um, yeah, I want rating to definitely be different types of rating too, like guerrilla warfare and stuff. But that's 100 years from now. Um, I don't think that looting. What is this for? Like century. Well, they could have just, you click on your guy, then you right click where you want him to go, because they have that built in. Um, all right, so I think since I took out, because we didn't need to go through each faction after this, we just needed to, the faction, we're already going through each faction. What's going on here? Did I move something? No, what is this one? Oh, this is just a test thing. We're putting out a faction research item in the log. I don't think we need to do this right now. We don't need to do this right now. We'll just comment this out for later. Um, so let me look at this again, because now I am wondering what else I missed here. It's gonna go through. That's not the one we want. It's gonna go through each research item that the faction starts with. The reason why I'm having it go through, even they're all the same right now, all of their research items, but at some point they're not going to be the same to start with. And um, oh, I see what you're saying. That'd be interesting to like spread them out into like, yeah, like a draw tool, like Hearts of Iron has, where you can draw your front. Um, Oh, I wonder. So I do feel like Fields of Glory is like half done. Like they got to a point, they're like, we have to release this now, wrap it up. And it was, and I think that's a common Slytherin game issue. I don't know how they do their um management of game projects, but it seems like a lot of their games are released like half finished, and then then they release DLC that finishes them. Oh man. Maybe I should just ban the word viewers. It'd be weird though. Block the word viewers. Let me go. Let me go take care of this thing over here. Um, report. I feel like I'm doing something important though when I'm reporting these. It probably just goes into some black hole. No one ever looks at this. Uh, selling viewers. Block. Ban. There we go. Um, let's see, I need to get back to here. All right, so what are we doing? We're going through each faction research item. If it's done and there's an county improvement in the array, it adds the county improvement with duplicate, and then it writes a thing. That's exactly what we need. All right, let's run this thing and see. Yeah, I didn't check that other one. Oh well, we'll see here. Yeah, we gotta fix this other one. Find county improvement of type. What are we passing in here? We're passing in county. Status equals none. I mean, there's an easy way to fix this, but what is this? I guess I'll just fix it, and we'll deal with that later. There we go. We'll worry about it later. We'll refactor at some point. Yeah, so there's a like pretty much a similar thing at my work in all of the emails come to me, and I think everyone thinks they go into the void when they report the stuff, but it comes to me, and then I look at it to make sure it's real, and then I banish it, or sometimes I have to reply to them, and I think they're always shocked that like there's a human looking at that stuff. But I hope there's a human looking at the. Now look how they use the H. Oh, I deleted it. You guys can't see it anymore. Um, the H with the little symbol above it, so that maybe someone had started blocking cheap, the word cheap. Let's see. We have nothing. We have nothing here. Let's take a look what we did. There should be some things printed somewhere. We're gonna ignore that. There's a bunch of complete research stuff. This is where it breaks. It doesn't break there anymore. It breaks somewhere else. Faction generation. Improvement is what we're looking for. None. We didn't get any of those. If research, so we should have got one. When it should have put in the research data, so it should have added in the research office. Should be here. This is the, so let's check this one too, just to make sure. Yeah, so it should have done right off the bat. So let's go down like how it, like as if the program was running. So on faction generation, it should get to this add county improvements. It goes through each one of these, create factions from disk. It adds the node. We pass in this thing. So this happens for each thing that each one we add into the node. And we have a thing here where it should say loaded. Yeah, so these 4 factions were loaded. And then it goes to this add county improvements, and then it says for 4, oh. We got a problem here. They don't have their research yet. This needs to go here. We'll put a note. The order is important. I mean, important. I know that that's important with all programming in C#, but sometimes I think I can just move stuff around later when I see it, and so I start moving stuff around and it's just busted. So they didn't have any research assigned, so it was just like, yeah, you don't have any county improvements. So there we go. Oh, look at this. We got a spinny circle. Probably when we clicked that, it knew what county it was in or something like that. So we need to look at where that is. County improvement button, that's not what we want. We want the county improvement control. And this was the thing that we were kind of fucking around with. Put it as, I should put it as super important. Did we get this rainbow thing happen here? Count of county improvement. So yeah, it went to there. Oh, look, I can click it again. So it's going to there. It's not working because I fucked with this. So let's look at what we did. I fucked with this yesterday, right before the end of the stream, and then it broke. So that's probably, I didn't break this just now. It was broken yesterday. So this didn't get moved, I don't think, but let's double check our county improvement control possible and current. So it's getting for each county improvement data in all county improvements. which there should be one. Add child, duplicate. So this just brings up that list. And that list actually seems like it's kind of working. Generate county improvement buttons. This part may not be working. So what does this do? County improvement button. I wonder if our other things got messed with when I just did this here. It shouldn't have. So these should have a list, yeah, of what you can. Researcher's office, warehouse. There should be 3 on this one, yeah. Oh yeah, are they doing Team Fortress 2 is what you're talking about, right? Is there a release of that? There's some other Deadlock game that they just released. Um, if the status is not equal to none, so this originally was an if statement that said if it was equal to none, do this top thing, else do this. So I changed it to if it's not equal to none. Um, and I renamed this thing current improvement scroll bar parent. So that's all. That's here though. So they're not busted. Whoops. We're getting this from the player faction. We're doing that count. That count probably isn't very useful. It doesn't seem very useful. The developers have been working on the same developers been working on Team Fortress 2 since 2007, 2008, or the videos are there. Because that'd be crazy. That's a long job in the development world. I feel like a very stable job probably too. If the status is not equal to none, I think this is our problem. So the idea behind this is we go through the list one time and we duplicate it if it's always going to put this one up here, but this is going to be, it just dawned on me, this is going to be wrong. Let's do this differently. Oh, again? Man, they're all over me today. They were all over me yesterday, too. Somebody went through and fixed their bots. That's what they did. You know, once a month they probably look at it. And they went through and they fixed all the busted ones. Selling viewers. Updated them all. Got their new hacked accounts. Because I think that's what they do is, yeah, see, this account was created in 2014. They find all of the abandoned accounts. So, you know, when they have like one of those password leaks where they say, oh, you know, these 100 million passwords were compromised because they got into some website. They then try those passwords on every goddamn website on the planet to see if they work. And so probably they found that a bunch of Twitch passwords worked. Then they resurrect these dead old accounts and start posting places. 2014, huh? That's a 10-year-old account that just got waxed. Poor guy. He's gonna try to log in. He probably has friends. I don't know. Can you assign friends? You can follow people. I don't know. I don't think this idea here is gonna work. What we're gonna do is we're gonna break these into methods. We're gonna break this into method here. This will be called create all county improvement. I did it. I did the typo there. Buttons. And this will pass in a faction We don't need to pass it anything. It's only for the player. There's no way the AI would ever use this. So then we'll do this down here, and then we do need to pass in. No, this is just create. Let's go back to here. County improvement button. This should be, though, we'll say, we're calling it possible. This is from the old code from Unity, but that's what it's called. Create possible county buttons. So then it's going to go through here. We need this county improvement data to go in here. We'll pass that in. We'll say county improvement data. And we'll do county improvement data. Oh, scalable. You know, I opened up a ticket up for a video game recently that said that the game was basically unplayable. This game that I was trying to play, that I want to stream, but the UI is so small for my old man eyes that I find it unplayable, basically. And I opened up a ticket and I said, "You got to make your UI bigger, man." And they immediately replied with, "I don't think you understand how difficult that is." And I said, fine. Oh, look. Oh, look. I had a problem here that I didn't notice. This should have been left county, and it just appeared. See what happens when you make it a method? Life gets better. I was supposed to be generating another one, but I was generating the same one. I was using the same one because I didn't change this to left. See how I have these ones as left? I didn't do that. This wouldn't have worked anyways. Oh no, it would have. We got other things going on here, but this is going to kind of, I think that might have solved our issue. It was pretty cutting edge in 2000. That sounds pretty cutting edge in 2007 to have a scalable UI. It's weird how, like, I would have never even thought of that, like, probably 4 years ago. I don't think I would have ever thought of, like, why is there no scalable UI? The problem is that, like, man, I'm getting old too. I mean, I am old. We didn't get the spinny thing. I guess that we never really tested that. I just got the spinny thing and I was like, it still doesn't work though. It should have been appeared on the other side. All right, so we have create the possible ones. This is going to assign it here. This is going to add it to the left-hand side. Let's look in the remote and see if it exists, and maybe it's like just hidden or something. County, that's not where that goes. Player UI, county improvement, margin container, HBox container, current. Nope, it's not there. So something is, it's not set to none. I bet you. What happens when we click that button? That is going to have its own script probably. Let's go to local. Building confirmation text. Yes button. Yeah, I know, I'm almost dead. It's okay. I am. Is it better to die young or grow old? I've always been a live fast, die young proponent, but it didn't happen. It didn't. That was the goal, was live fast, die young. But yeah, that didn't work. Build improvement. So this probably is wrong. What does this say? Generate county improvements button. So this is, we're calling this, when you hit yes, it regenerates the county improvements, which is, I was guessing earlier, it probably did that. Um, global instance selected possible building control. Selected possible building control. Update possible building labels. Yeah, I definitely need to put a not what I don't know what did you do? It's fine. I I'm aware of my age. Yeah, I always say too, like you always hear these things from people who are like 55 or something or 60. They're like, my life didn't start until I turned 50, and I always am like very suspicious of that comment. I think part of it is you have more disposable income as you get older. You hope, you would hope, um, and but I don't think that they're. I think that they're lying. So under build improvements, so we do change this. Under construction, county improvements dot add. And we add this to the list, to their under construction list. Old pop, yeah, yeah. I don't, I don't think that that's. Yeah, I think you're definitely like if you're like on Social Security, living in a studio apartment and can't leave your house because you don't have the money. Yeah, definitely. Um, county data, county improvement. So this is adding it to this list, which is what we want. And we set the status to under construction, which is what we want. Where's that? We don't need the event log thing. Player controls, we probably don't need that. Event log thing. Research panel, we probably don't need that. Uh, where is, I want to go back to my button. Where were you? What were you called? Button, here it is. Build confirmation. Ailing health, yeah, the health thing really sucks, and that's another thing. Back to the thing where I don't think that's true is that once 37, I can start feeling my joints falling apart. Uh, I wonder if this is not getting assigned correctly. Selected possible building control. Selected possible building control. Oh, look, there's a typo in here. And here's that stupid, let's fix this. Name of, no, no, get out of here. Name of, we need another one of these. Okay. On visibility change. Call deferred. Update. Wonder why we have this. This is some really old code. If visible, this should be only if it's true. I don't know why we would be updating this when we close it. Maybe I just was being lazy or something. So when you open this up, it's going to update this thing. And then you click the yes button. There's no no button option, which is, I guess it probably just hides. I don't know weird if you say no. I mean, it works. That would be like a Freaky Friday. I think that's the name of that movie. Where they like the mother and daughter bump into each other, and I don't know. They switch bodies. This is weird to me because I don't know where we're assigning this selected. It must be so when we click, it must be on the actual. Like I said, this is some old code. It must be on the actual UI button. Um, and that's going to be called County Improvement Button. There is a script on here. What does this do? Updates these labels. We're going to have to change this too because it's going to update them. Wow, this is a lot of stuff here. You have pressed the building button. We make that visible. I guess I couldn't show it. And then we assign this to here. That makes sense. Let's really get into the print though to make sure shit is working. Building button. Building button. Are you gonna go away? There we go. Just making sure there wasn't anything missing there. You press the button. So we press the building button. We've pressed the county. Nope. County improvement button. Uh, we're gonna pin this here. We're gonna pin this here. And so this makes the confirmation visible, and this assigns this thing, this actual this whole script. Is that what I want to do? What is this thing? Yeah, it assigns the whole button to here. I wonder if I need to do that. I could probably just put the county improvement data. Well, let's leave it. Should we just leave it, or let's see what this does again? So then because we're running, okay, yeah, we're running shit off of this button. We're like updating these labels and stuff from, yeah, check for under construction label. Yeah. So and then we'll fix all of these if statements probably. Maybe not. We'll look at this in a second because there's something else. We're going to have to change how this works. So basically, we want a list that's always there on the right side. So on this right side, on here, we want a list of what you can build always to be here because we want you to be able to build multiple of the same. Currently, how it's set up is you only could build one of each and it would turn off. It would take it out of here, but we don't want that anymore. But what's going to happen is we're going to click this and we're going to do this and it's going to move this over here. It's going to say it's under construction, but it's also going to say this one's under construction, and we don't want to do that. Though that is an interesting thing that it could show that it doesn't matter. So this seems right. I don't think there's a problem with this part. So we say yes, this gets assigned to here. That looks good. This thing is now open. It's now visible. It updates the panel. It says, hey, do you want to do this county improvement? Does it say that? Please confirm. Are you sure you want to build a... Yes, it does. Oh, I tried to close. That's a problem, but we'll not worry about it. So you click the yes button, and it assigns this county improvement data, which is what we're saving that whole button over there. And then it goes to build county improvement. Are we getting charged for this? We did get charged for it because I gave us 1,500 influence. So this is giving us the county data. It should, so at this thing, you know what we can do? We can do this thing. Learned that too recently. New. So this is going to give us the county improvement that we passed in. Status should be under construction. We add it to the under construction list. It says faction whatever is building whatever, which I don't think it's saying actually. I think I just commented that though. Is building. Yeah. Clicking on everything wrong. So it says that this adds it to the list. We don't want it to take it off the list anymore. We want it on the old list still. So this adds it to that. Where are we taking it off the other list? Maybe I already removed that. So after this, we go to that building confirmation. It goes to charge for building, which this should just take some influence off, which it does. And then global update possible building labels. It's going to run through this crap. Which thing is it doing it to? This is going to run. This is just so. This is just for. This is just for the instant. I think this might be part of the problem here. Update possible building labels. It's interesting we have this run and then it generates the county improvements again. Maybe I'm misunderstanding how the generate county improvements button works. How does this clear improvements work? Let's just double check. For each node, we skip the first one and we just blow them away. All right, that should work. No problem, man. Have a good rest of your day or evening. Good existence, as I often say. Sleep well. Global's instant selected possible building control. Update possible. Yeah, thank you. And no problem. Update possible buildings label. I'm not sure why we're doing this here. Because this should. There's actually, I think I had a plan here, and it probably was just would continue to work, but it wasn't working right before, and we just stumbled across this issue. So I think what we got to do here is, so this update possible buildings label, I think we can run this inside this thing. It's not letting me control click through here for some reason. It does that every once in a while. I haven't figured out why. It's a Visual Studio issue. Whoops. But this is where we want to go anyways. So basically what we could do is we could have it when we go to this generate county improvements control, it's going to run this thing. And what we would have it do is we'd have it run, well, after it instantiates the thing, we would have it run that command that's on this button. So like on here, we should probably pin this too for now. We have a lot of stuff pinned. This thing should probably go over here because we don't need it that much. So okay, so this is actually already running when we instantiate this, this is already running. Okay, so I guess I did it better than I thought I did. And we'll worry about this under construction stuff in a minute. I'm going to take a break in a minute here too. Generate improvement buttons. So it should, for each one of these in all county improvements, it should create the possible list, which is what we got here. This is the county improvement data. We need a county improvement button. This is instantiating it from the county improvement button packed scene. That's right. So it instantiates the button. It adds it to the child. And the county improvement data that is used on the button is this. It duplicates this. Which, this is why that has call deferred on it, I'm guessing, is because when this thing is being instantiated on ready, we're trying to get this in here, and then on ready, on the county improvement button. Yeah, I can't use my control thing. I wonder why that stops every once in a while. On our county improvement button, this is on ready. It's trying to update these labels. I'm surprised this shit worked, even with the call deferred in here. So and it probably was frustrating when I did this, because it probably didn't work sometimes. And probably it would have worked differently when I exported it to be an actual video game. But basically what it's doing is it's on ready. That happens when the thing's instantiated, like as fast as it can. But this thing is being added. Maybe on ready happens when it's added to the child. Yeah, when they enter the scene. So this thing enters the scene right here. And then I'm assigning it. So we could just probably move this up here. So we assign. So it's always, especially in the good old days when I started this, I always thought it was weird. We should be able to assign it to here. You instantiate something, and then it's just like kind of floating around. Then you add it to the child, and then that assigns it to like actually showing the scene. And in my mind before, it like kind of didn't exist, but it does exist before you add it to the child. So we should be able to assign this here, and we probably could get rid of the call deferred then. Because the reason why the call deferred was happening is because we were adding the child, and we were trying to stick that data in there before it got the child was before that thing happened. So hopefully, this needs to be above add child. All right. So that's a whole different issue, though. Let's go back to this thing, though. And I'm going to get rid of this. I'm laughing because I'm just probably making my issues worse. I'm just causing more agony for later. So we don't really give a shit about all this stuff though right now. We want the buttons to appear first. So we can fix the problems after they appear. So we're going through building confirmation. We generate this. This must have probably been happening like too quickly as well or something is why this was in here again. But we'll leave it. I was about to get rid of it. But generate improvement buttons, it's going to run through this whole thing again. When you hit yes on that thing, it runs through and it generates these all again. And this is getting changed to under construction. If it's not equal to this, if the county improvement status, so it goes through everyone in the player's faction data. Oh. We're not changing the one in the player faction data. So this isn't going to work quite how I was thinking. We're changing the one in the under construction. All right, so we could have this run, and then we could. So I think the reason, so this kind of worked better. but that's okay. So we needed before we weren't having it wouldn't have been on the right side. It was an either or situation, but we want these to all be on the right side. So this one it does need to go through here. And then what we would do next actually is go for each county improvements, data. I don't think it's gonna like that being called that, but I guess no, it doesn't give a shit. Then we need to know what county we're in, we're on the selected county, so we go globals, instance, uh, selected, left click county, under construction, county data, under construction. So this is also going to change the order of how these things appear. I think we want the under construction ones at the top. So this will be better. We don't give a shit about this anymore. All right. So and then it's going to for each one under construction. So I wonder if this is nothing. If there's nothing in this list, what happens? We'll find out, I guess. Then we're going to run this. So there's a way to test this. And we're going to create a method for this. We're not going to leave it like that. And we made a bunch of changes. Oh, this is a perfect time for me to take a break, actually, too. Let me pause my music that you guys can't hear, and let me put up my break timer, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. All right, I am back, and where is my cord on my headset? Is always a disaster, so I gotta make sure it's not like wrapped around my chair or some shit. Uh, some raccoons were outside, and I had to feed them. I mean, I guess I didn't have to feed them. I chose to feed them. They get the. Okay, so this kind of worked. The updating probably happened too fast. Yeah, this is the one where I was deferring it. And then I took that out, so I guess we gotta do this anyways. What was I saying about the raccoons? I don't remember. Took a picture of one of them. They're, it's a mom and its baby. It used to have 4 babies, and now it's down to 1. I don't know what happened to the poor little guys. So we might have actually solved this other issue. I think it's just a white square. With this copy. All right, we need to check now this place and make sure it's getting the right things. This one was under construction. It says 0 builders. Let's build it. And then it says it's done, so let's look. And it's gone. All right, so that's because in this next thing, we need another for each thing here. These ones we could make the same. And we could pass in a list. These are completed because these are identical. So we could turn this into, I don't know why I'm even continuing to copy this. We could turn this into a method. This one's different. How different is it? It just goes to a different one of these. We could make a method for this. Let's make a method for this. Let's see if this works, and then let's make a method for this. And it will just be able to like bam, bam, bam. The shitbirds is building. What was that? County improvements. We got this one here. We say yes. It goes over to under construction. We run this thing. It's done. I hit space. There it is. 0 workers. The next day it should get a worker, but let's double check to make sure that that works because we have fuck with some stuff. It still has 0 workers. It says this guy's working there. Kimberly. Kimberly, how good are you at research? Too late. I had clicked and I moved away. Oh, it remembers that. How strange. Generally, when you click buttons, like on websites and stuff, if you move your mouse off the button and unclick, it doesn't remember what you clicked on, but it does. So this isn't updating right. I wonder if that's been broken for a while, or if this is a new thing. But this person thinks they're working there. It's 8 a.m. I wonder if we let it run another day, what happens? You're still supposedly working there. Yeah, this is broken. Let's put a note in so I don't forget. We're almost done. I've said this like 40 times. We're almost done with this part. What am I doing here? Number of workers isn't showing correctly on the county improvements control. I guess we can just look at that next. There's no reason not to. Is there anything else I needed to check? Oh, we're going to turn that into a method. Yeah, let's turn that into a method first. Go to the top, man. So let's go fix this. We're going to have a method that is called create possible county improvements. We're going to pass in we could I'm thinking we could do this whole for each thing in its own method. We would pass in beer one of two. Only two beers? I don't know. Is my alcoholism only two beers? You got to drink 27 of those things. Uh, I think beer in Europe though is also higher alcohol percentage. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So I think what we can do is go like this. This is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna pass in a county improvement. We're gonna pass in list of county improvement datas, and this will be called list of or what did I call them down here so I can type less. You know, it's only one. It's only list of county improvements. It's only one spot where we're putting this. It'll be fine. Then we need to have parents, which looks like it's what is this thing? Is it a node? No, I know that. Tell me what this is so I can. I think it's a node 2D. I guess we could just look. Not there though. Oh, we need to look at this thing. I was thinking about this when I was falling asleep last night. God damn it. Make sure the event log isn't saving events past 13. I think it's still doing that. It's still adding, it's not deleting them how I want it to. So let's look at this. Half a liter? uh, what is that in Mountain Dews? Man, it's so strange to me that Mountain Dew is like a thing. Because I remember when I was younger, Mountain Dew was not a thing. Uh, like it existed, it just we didn't drink it to the level of that I fucked this whole thing up. It's this whatever. We'll fix this in a second. All this red is annoying me though. Uh, so we need another one of these. I guess I'm fixing it right now. This needs to be there. Okay. That was everything we needed. Oh, actually we have there we go. Mountain Dew is not a thing. I feel like, even what's that couch fucker's name? JD Vance. Um, JD Vance was talking about. uh, I feel so bad for that dude. I mean, I shouldn't feel bad for him because he's a piece of shit, but I still feel bad for him. I think these are no 2Ds. I have too many things open up here. Is what's going on. Um, let's see here. So this is going to put them. For some reason, these little exclamation points come and go. It's a Godot bug. There are things. The thing it wants is here. They'll go away later. The parents of VBox container. I guess I could have looked just at the top of this thing. I put it in as a node. That's weird. Wonder why I did that. It's a VBox container parent. So what we'll do here is we'll go like this. I'm wondering if I'm screwing myself here by list of county improvements by changing that to a VBox container. That's quite possible. It weirds me out though that this is really old code. This is like really old code, so maybe I didn't understand the node with the different node things, man. I noticed that in that other where we're deleting them, it says node, but I think it's because there's two different types in as children. So we're duplicating that. We're adding this to the parent. It goes through each one of these. Improvement spelled right. And instantiate. So that should be right. So what we got to pass in here now is so it's going to put in all of the improvements, and it needs to be on the right. See, it's not going to let me put this node in here. It needs this one. I guess I could have double clicked that. There we go. Yeah, it's going to be like, this isn't a node. It's a VBox container. Now we're going to have a different problem here. We're going to need to drag these back over. Up here. Because I changed their type. It's actually these two. Well, it's below these two. It didn't want it. I don't believe it. But we'll just let the bug happen, and then... Did I not save this? No, I did. Am I in the wrong spot? Nope. Let's see here. So then once we have this one done, we can just copy this 2 more times. Create county improvement buttons. And then we have generate. We'll rename this to all. Create all. And then this one will be, how are we getting the, now this is the left click. We can just copy this thing and put this here. And then we'll copy this and put this here. I'm actually going to put these things down one because I can't see them at 224. We'll put this down here too just to keep it consistent. And then this will be the other one of these. And then this will go away. Look at that. Hopefully, this will now work the same. I mean, these are all the same except their parents are different and their lists are different. So, okay, they're not the same at all, but very similar. So let's run this and see if this thing goes away. I still have coffee left. I don't know how I've done that. I'm at 1 hour and 20 minutes and I still have coffee left. All right, we didn't get any bugs yet. We got our researcher's office. We're going to build that. It's under construction. I wonder if the number of builders fixes. This should happen at 1 o'clock. Yeah, so something broke between these. There should be, it's probably working up here, right? It is. We're adding, so this is this. Let's edit this thing so it has both number of workers and cold coffee makes you pretty, well, I should be gorgeous. And I wonder why that's a saying. Is it so people don't complain about their cold coffee? Uh, so let's see here. We can speed this up. And this is working now. We can't click on it, which is what we want. We could build another one, which is the whole point of this. Let's see if it does something, if that actually does. I paused it before 1 a.m. It does. I had this conversation with the people with the place I go to get coffee, and they said I forget how it came up, but I said that at this old coffee place that I used to go to, you'd always get like a mouthful of grounds at the end, like this much of it would be grounds. And they're like, oh my God, that's awful. You should ask for a refund, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, that's never happened here, right? And I was like, no, of course not. And then like a month later, it happened there. And I did not ask for a refund, of course. I was at my house, but also it seemed like I got most of my coffee, but yeah, it was all cold and gross, and that thing's working right too. So we got to figure out. So this is all working. This is all working great. And there's a few things that I wasn't sure were working are working. And this is now working. That's got done. Let's put a summary in here though. Let's say this goes through all of the county improvements lists and generates them for the player UI. So that if I can hover over that. All right. So now we just got to figure out why the number of workers is not working. I think we're counting lists actually. We should have never been counting the one list though. So that's under the county where we're generating these county improvements where I have the call deferred thing. That's under here. I said earlier that we would fix this and make this look better, but I think I'm not going to. Yeah, county improvement data, county population at improvement. And it is at the improvement, otherwise it wouldn't be. Max builders label. I don't think we messed with any of the. Yeah, these are still all there. So what are we doing here? Something is going to get fucked up here. Check building cost. If the research panel is true. So is there anything else messed up on this? It has a place, so it has these two things. It's kind of nice that I didn't plan this, but it's to be able to check both. So it has the description and it has the name, amount of construction. If we let a day pass. Oh, it's already done. That was too quick. But we know it's working because otherwise the construction wouldn't. There's people assigned to it. I think that's how we do it. We check construction. Actually, that might not be how we check construction. They might check their. Yeah. It might not work that way. county improvement name, description, influence cost. So this is for the right side. The right side has that stuff. Amount of construction 10, max builders 5. If you're in the research panel, this stuff should fill in, but it doesn't do any of the other things. Else if if this is visible, I don't know what this does. Oh, this is if you don't have the money. If you don't have the money for it, then it's disabled. Do we need to check it? I don't think we could return out of here. We could probably return out of here at this point. We can get rid of this since we can have multiple buildings of the same type. We can get rid of this since we can have multiple buildings of the same type. If the building status equals under construction or under... Okay, so this is kind of interesting because it accidentally worked a different way that I was thinking I liked, but maybe I don't. So this is disabled because it's already completed whatever, but maybe we don't want this to happen. What was the plan once we... Is there a description panel? I don't remember. I don't know why I'm asking questions like someone else is going to remember. Yeah, what was the point of having that clickable if it's already in the list? I think we want it to be disabled. Yeah, we would want this to be disabled. We don't want that. So there was some thought process in here that didn't apply. We want these ones to be disabled. And if county improvement data.status is equal to none, the county improvement max amount of construction, improvement max builders equals that. Else if influence cost is hidden. All right, and so this is the right side. This happens on the right side. And this is on the left side, and this is not... Current amount of construction may be working, we don't know. County improvement data population at... So this is the part that's not working. Improvement max builders label. Builders. Well, the other one should say workers, though. Where does it say workers? Right here. So I don't think there's people being assigned to this list, which would have been a problem later. I'm surprised that it hasn't. Check if counting improvements are done. For each county improvement in construction. Update work location. The same thing is done multiple times. We should make it its own method. Update work location. Well, that was useful. We need to find where this is happening. Because I think it's putting... Check for construction. Under construction. So this is right. It's checking the under construction improvements. Maybe duplication is not working. The duplicating of the county improvement. It should be then, though, that they're all fucked up. It's quite possible, though, that the duplication is not working again. It's weird that it just suddenly stops working. So we pass in from this list, and it updates their activity if they're gonna be construction, if there's gonna be construction there. Workers to remove from possible workers. Yeah, that's that thing. Do we do this anywhere else? What is this? Check for preferred work. We update their location. And we could put this in here, back in here. But there's not, we need it to happen more. County improvements, county improvement counts is less than max workers. Work, update work location. We should actually put that thing here. So it would happen in update work location. We'll put GD prints, yeah, $, county population, first name is working at county improvement data, improvement name. And it's adding them in there. I think it's possible that it's not duplicating the county improvements anymore. I don't know why that suddenly. You could just do GD load a new one. Huh. That's an interesting idea. I've just been making manual. I've been having all sorts of issues with them not duplicating. So I just made it a thing inside of the ones so far that this is a problem with, where it just makes like a copy in a different way. I call it new copy. Let's see. So 1 o'clock. Something should have happened here. So there's 0 builders it's showing. These people are working there though. New custom resource. Oh yeah, the new custom resource doesn't work. Or that's basically what I do, but I have to copy over the variables. I have a thing. It's just dumb that duplicate doesn't work. Sometimes. It works sometimes and it works sometimes and then it doesn't work sometimes. Yeah, I have one already. Where is it? Can't remember. Yeah, it's my research item. So this is what I do is I do a new one and then I have to copy over all the variables. And it returns it, which is dumb. What are we looking for here? We're looking for first name is, here we go, is working at the research office, working at the research office, is working at the research office. So these people are getting assigned to it. But when we go to here, it's not showing them there. So how we could test that is this button. We could put, I mean, this is a count, but just to double check, we could put, we'll have to, we'll put it up here, but I don't think this is going to actually do us any good. County number of people working at county improvements equals county improvement data dot people, it's something, here we go, dot count. Yeah, I really wish they would fix the research or the resources not copying. But I think it's a low priority because everybody has a there is a working workaround. It's just a pain in the ass because it's like I said, it's intermittent. It doesn't happen all the time. It just suddenly stops working. I mean, obviously, I changed something. I changed something, and you know, it's because I think it's because the list is being no, it was that way before. Yeah, I don't know. So let's see here. So we should have an output 0 and 0. That's what we want right now because there's nobody working there. Then at 1 o'clock, we can open this up here, and it still says number of people working and improvement is 0. So that number is the problem. Because if we look over here, these people are going to be working there. Fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit! Why would it have changed? The faction, I moved it from county data to faction data. And well, no, it's not even, you know, I didn't move it from there. These two things I didn't move from there. All I did was copy and pasted. It's this thing is not going right. I don't think. And how we can test that is to do this. And now, the issue with autoloads being too slow to load up that I've got working, moving their stuff from ready to enter tree. I was trying to figure out the enter tree the other day. Let me find that auto load thing. Oh, what I was trying to figure out was like if there's a way to do if is it in the tree. You know what I mean? Like so I can have it in a getter setter and say like don't do this unless it's in the tree. And I couldn't figure out how to do it. I'm sure there's a way to do it. My auto load thing I think is pretty empty right now because of this bug. This bug happens, but it doesn't do anything. It just you're using C sharp, right? So this happens every time because it's building stuff before the goddamn engine starts. And I've just learned to live with it. But let me see what my auto load does. Yeah, I'm instancing this. So on ready to enter tree. Right now this doesn't do anything. It's just sitting here. I created it and then I found other things to do, but that might be a solution for that. On enter tree. All right, so let's see here. I think so. This what's going to happen is, yeah, these are all going to be the same. It is. I tested it. It's definitely the getter setters are running before the things in the tree. But it only happens if I build it. So if I build it ahead of time, I get those errors, and then if I run it, I don't get the errors. So it's something to do with how it builds when it's building stuff, which it shouldn't happen in the real game. Let's see here. So what I wanted to check, these are all going to be the same now. So it was making a duplicate, but I think what happens is when it makes a duplicate of stuff, it like busts. So we know it was making a duplicate, but something else is going on. So what I wanted to check here was at 1 o'clock. These guys are building this. Yeah, see, they're there now. So it's definitely this duplicate that's the problem. And it used to be, what was the problem? When you duplicate, the issue I used to have was when you duplicated it, it didn't actually duplicate it, but now duplicate it. Now it's like the issue is it makes a copy that's busted. And I think it's busted on sub things. Like this doesn't happen. Like it doesn't like that or something. We know it's copying over some of this stuff. So maybe, what else? Do I have other lists in here? We know it's copying over the description and things like that. It seems to be this list, and maybe it's just the initialization of the list, but then how can I be adding things to that list? I wonder if should have it should have bugged out when you try to add something to a list that's not initialized. It usually bugs out because we do know that it's copying over stuff because we saw the description and stuff in there. So it seems like we could write a little method in here where we add it. I don't even know how we're adding it to this list. Let's do that and see if that solves something. Uh, Add population to county improvements list. I'm surprised we don't have this already in here, honestly. County population. Add. Then let's go find this. And in the other add population, I should have called it add county population, I guess. We'll leave it that way. I want to rename county population to population. Hey, I forget what the getter setter's doing. It's adding like it's completing. So what happens is if you start the game, you can checkbox, for testing or for whatever to which research is done in the inspector. And so that's part of the problem is the inspector fires that thing. It doesn't like come pre-built. The inspector fires it because it's checkboxed. And then the getter setter completes it, which was what we actually want it to do. It completes the research and it adds the research to a list. Let's find that thing again here. I only have that in one spot. All right. We'll do. We'll do. I don't know why. County population dot first name was added. Whoops. Was added to improvement name uh, list. Let's do this. You might get them from that just by creating a main menu that loads the game scene on. Oh, so a good point. There is going to be a whole other scene, on this, uh, and that would solve. It would still fire that stuff, and it's only going to be the first time you run the game. But I don't think once it's exported, it's going to matter. Just want to make sure that this is actually getting added here. Duplicate is back on. We changed how we did that. I don't think it's going to do anything, but we'll hopefully get an error or not here. We did not get an error. What did I say? Was added. So these people were added to the list. But they're not showing up here. It thinks 0. So, but we know when we're maybe where there's how are we accessing that thing? Maybe it's something else. Maybe this button has the wrong thing saved to it. But when we don't duplicate it, it isn't the wrong thing. But maybe it has the wrong thing added to it. And it used to work. We'd move the thing though. How are we adding this to here? That's when... That's during this process. Which is this thing. So we're just back to this duplicate thing. Wonder why it's the list though. Why is it always the list? I wonder if it would work if it was a Godot array. Instead of a C# list. That's really gonna cause me a bunch of fucking grief though. To make that a Godot array. I'm gonna look it up. Let's see. Godot C# list not duplicating. How old is this shit? 9 months ago. Only the Godot documentation for duplicate method in the resource class states that it only copies properties that are exported. What? In your example, the list, if things seem to be not being exported, this isn't being copied over. Well, I have a bunch of shit that's not exported. Alright, well in this case, I don't have a bunch of shit in that one. But what about county improvement? Where's my... Yeah. Yeah, so that... The fuck is this? Like, so it's not going to copy over this location? Yeah, it's definitely not going to work. That's not going to work. In this particular case, what was the other thing? Research item data. Research item data. This getter setter is not exported. I think that might be the case. And like you said, you can't export a C# list. I really wish you could. Turns out the list cannot be exported. Yeah. So it seems that a custom copy as method is the way to go. I did some more digging into how resources work, and there's one more option. You can turn a thing itself into a resource and use the collection array instead of a list in thing resource. Only copies properties that are exported. Did I not read that ever? I've looked at that so many times. So many times. Where's my research? Oh no, it's not going to be there. Where's my doesn't say shit about it being exported. It's not where it's only exported things. I've hovered over this for 65,000 hours and read this 65,000 times. It takes me an hour to read it. Oh wait, though. The returns a new resource with its exported copied from duplicates this resource, returning a new resource with its exported or property usage flag storage. Okay, it does say something about it, but it doesn't. It's written strangely. I'm going to blame the documentation. Duplicates this resource, returns a new resource with its exported or property usage flag storage. What the fuck is that? Property usage flags. Didn't we look at this the other day too? Property usage flags. How old is this? This is only 8 months. You'll have to override on your and add the flag to the property. This is in whatchamafuck though. So we could if we turn it into an array, a Godot array, we can export it. It won't do anything. Like we can't look at it. I mean, we can look at a blank one. Maybe that will solve our problem though. So it seems like get property list doesn't modify or merge the property in any way. I wonder if I could, I don't think I can do it. I was trying to see if I could be lazy, because the minute I change this to a list, it's going to, 10 things are going to break. Or I mean to an array, a Godot array. Where are we at here? This is where we're at. I don't think I can add this flag thing, though. Is there, flag? What? Is there a way to define a flags? No, that's not what I want. Export flags, enums, a to-list method. Oh, to change it back? Change them back and forth? That's a good idea too. Less agony. Uh, your exported stuff, huh? Alright, I'll just change it to an array, I guess. There are some lists that can't do that with, though. There's one that has some special shit. This is not special at all. It's just a fucking list. I don't like Godot arrays that much because of the weird. You got to do the weird thing. You know, I don't know why I'm always worried so much about performance in the video game. And I've decided that when I have those worries, just not to worry about it until it's too late, until later. Cannot convert type Godot variant. It doesn't like this. I was just looking at what that said. Yeah, so this is passing in the wrong thing. Or what is this thing doing? Oh, I can't for each it? Oh, you can't do the thing? The C#8 thing? It doesn't seem to think it's a problem. Uh, here's a Godot. I'm doing it with dictionaries. Maybe, I don't know if they would know though. If for each one of these in that, Stinkle, how's it going? How's life in the CSS, right? You know why it doesn't like this, I think, is because I didn't do this right. Where the fuck was that? This should be population. This is what we need. Oh, no? The generic type argument must be a variant. Otherwise prefers, such as a list. Must be a variant. Must be a variant compatible. Why aren't you a different color here? I've used an array before, a Godot array. I tried them for a while and I didn't like them, and I forget why I didn't like them. Yeah, here's another example of one. Faction data. Oh. Uh, county population is a public class, so it can't. It can't do it. It's the one public class I have that's in here. So it can't be that. So that's not going to work. This needs to be back to a list. And I'm not changing the county population to a resource. So what is ref counted? Can you do a dictionary right here? Will it be the same problem? Yeah. It would be such a huge pain to make it a resource. And then who knows, would it copy? We'd have to put an export on it. That's like 500 fucking variables in there. It's miles long. I have one export. I can't believe that that's part of the thing. Who made these decisions? What's the guy's name? Juan. All right, where were we doing here? County data. Ref counted. Let me look up what that is. Godot ref counted. What is this? Base class for an object that keeps a reference count. Resource and other helper objects inherit this class. Unlike other object types, ref counteds keep an internal reference counter so that they can automatically release when no longer in use, and only then. They do not need to be freed. Ref counted instances caught in a cyclic reference will not be freed automatically. For example, if a node holds a reference to instance A, which directly or indirectly holds a reference to A's account. In C#, reference counted objects will not be freed instantly after they are no longer in use. Instead, garbage collection, that's fine. This didn't tell me anything, though. Base class for an object that keeps a reference count. Try making. I'll try it. I'm going to try it. I don't know. How do I make it one? I actually think that a lot of their docs don't tell you anything. If that may, like this part's good usually. Only a little more complex than object. They track references to themselves, only deleted. Okay. What was that other idea you had? To just load another one from disk? I'm trying not to load anything from disk, but that is probably. But this is just back to here. How do I make it that? Public partial class. But then that's gonna break it if it's a partial class. It can't be, isn't it? Comma ref counted. Well, without that though. Colon? Yeah, that's gonna break it if it's a partial class. Can I do something like that? Yeah. Go back to what you were doing. Why are you still there, red thing? Oh, probably because I deleted something up here, I think. No. Go away, issues. Go away. 110. Go away. It doesn't. Oh, there we go. All right, so let's do this then. Because we don't actually know if this will even solve the problem. We can't make this exported. It probably is what the problem is, though. So it's just not doing anything. But even if it was not doing anything, if it wasn't making a copy of it, I mean, what does it put? When you duplicate it, just leaves this thing off the lit? Like it doesn't, the new thing doesn't have this? No, it has it because it's counting it as 0. But it must not be initialized. Uh, if it's a partial class, though, then it has all sorts of things attached to it. Like it doesn't. I mean, from my experience, which I obviously like, if I make this a partial class, then it's not like a public class where I can just access it with. I got to do different things to it. Uh, I did read a big thing where people are going apeshit about why the fuck is it partial classes anyways in Godot. They're very, very upset about it. So let's think about this. So it says that there's 0 there. So after we duplicate it, it's saying that there's 0 in there, but we're still adding things to the new one. But it's still saying 0. So it must not be initialized, but it shouldn't give us a bug. Let's do this. Shouldn't it say, I just created that thing where we added to the county improvement data. There's probably check if list is initialized. How can I check if list is initialized or not? Ref instead. Variables passed out as arguments do not have to be initialized before passing the method call. However, the call method is required to assign a variable. If you're dealing with out, no, it's not a. No, not a variable. I want it to be a list. This one, look how new this one is, and it's closed. I thought if you counted it, it would tell you, like it wouldn't work if it's not. If you got the count. You're guaranteed some sort of initialization. So maybe it doesn't bug out if you try. I mean, obviously it's not. If you try to add something, but how would the count work? We could do this actually. Trying to improvement names list. We could go county squigs. Did I already have a squigs in there? I did not. What was the was added? Was added. Oops, we don't want research here. We want county improvements. Was. So look, this is even saying they're in there. But then they don't get the thing there. There should be, yep, and it has 5 of them, and like that all corresponds. I feel like there's something else going on too. So this is adding it. It's those ones from the top. You just have to count, get rid of the 5. That's those ones from it building. Yeah, it drives me insane. Oh fuck. Um. mm, so we could. I'm curious here. We already have this open. Current possible. Number. Oh. These are the same labels, but they're. I was thinking that these were different labels. This one that says Max Builders and this one that says Builders, but they're the same label. And I was gonna turn on the other label to see if it, like this one said it was 5, like maybe it was getting assigned to the wrong one. Uh, I mean, I'll double check again in the code here, but they're the same label. They just get written by different stuff. Let's see. That is going to be under this button. Mm, county improvement. So the only way that this would work, the only way that we would know that this county improvement data is not the one we're altering. How would we figure that out? Let's see. Oh, is it? Let me allow. I still and am using this. I haven't done it to a bunch of them, obviously, but when I notice this, I've been like, oh yeah, get rid of that shit. That's great. That is great. Removing those is like the best thing ever to me. Uh, it's just one whole thing shifted over. And also, when you create it, I was doing the thing where I'd type this in, go like this, delete that, hit end, go down there. That's great not to have to do that. Actually, I didn't have to get rid of this. I think I'm going to take a quick break. I'm trying to think how there's got to be a way for me to test if when we took away duplicate, we saw that it was affecting each one. We know that this is a copy of something, but what we could do is when we duplicate it, where are we duplicating it? Solution, how's it going? When we duplicate it, where was that? That was under somewhere over here. It's right here. No, it's not. It's that's just in the control. So this is what I'm thinking is when we duplicate this way we'll know that we're actually editing the right one. Uh, Copying a list. Duplicating a list seems to not be working, which it's a that's a mass simplification of the problem. It's basically were we dealing with this yesterday? I can't remember. A different one. Uh, that shouldn't be. Wait, no, that should be on this one, so that's not going to work. Our test isn't going to work. So basically, we have these county improvements that are copying. They used to work, but I moved where the list of them was. I moved where the list lived of them, and now it no longer updates correctly with the number of people that work. There's another. It's got to be built. So these number of builders doesn't update. They're assigned to it. It seems like we know they're assigned to it, but it doesn't update the count. And so wait, if we know they're assigned to it, it feels like they're not assigned to it. Uh, but these these 5 guys are building this thing, but this isn't getting the right count on it. That creates a new object, create new list, and every property is a new one. Use references. What do you mean when you say use references? Uh, yeah, I might have to do the copy this shit thing. I thought we were onto something though with the exported, and it's just the list, but the list is obviously something is happening to the list. I don't know what this song you guys can't hear it, but it's awful. Laser Guide Daydream. Remove from queue. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. Pause this. You could add a copy. Yeah, we already saw that one. I was back over here. Yeah, tell me what you mean by user references. I'm going to take a quick break, but I think I'm going to have to. So, what solved the problem with the other one with the research data was just making this. And this one had it. So, this one had a weird thing as well where some of this stuff seemed to work and some of it wouldn't didn't, but maybe that's the export thing. Everything's exported except for this. In this one, I don't know why this is exported. This shouldn't be exported. I mean, it could be. Complete research. Yeah, anyways, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. All right, I'm back. I thought that was a short break, and it was a long break, and then the one before that I thought was a long break, and it was a short break. Had to feed the raccoons. Solution, I was thinking that on my Discord I'm Lord Haywire, so just in case you were wondering uh, who the hell is who on there, I think I'm just going to make a copy of it, and we'll copy it with my new copy. It's not the end of the world for this one, and we'll see if that works. Whereas I think that's the quickest solution since it seemed to work for a similar issue. So we'll do a public. We're going to return a list of county improvement data. We're going to call it new copy because for some reason that's what I called them on the other ones. Whoops. And we'll go here. What did this other one look like? Just in case. It's pretty standard if I remember correctly. Yeah, we'll just copy this over and we'll edit it. It's not similar at all, but that's what we're going to do. County improvements. Whoops. County improvement data. County improvement data. And can I make this go smaller and smaller? One more. Print screen. Make this over here. Make this big again. 224 is what I use it at usually. Get rid of this thing. I guess I'll call this new county data just to keep this consistent with how I was doing it before. Improvements data. New count E. And we gotta put this stuff in here though. There's kind of a lot of them. What did we do? List this. How did I do that? I already forgot. Oh yeah, the one I'm passing in. I gotta pass in one. County improvement data. Now we're gonna go county improvement data. County improvement data. Whoops. I can tell my brain's already like, no. Location. Just trying to think if there's an easier way to copy this in here. I wonder why we have that county improvement description button in here, which is next. We need this to be like this, though. I've said this before, but I didn't know that programming would be so much, so many tedious things. Like a lot of it you can get rid of, you can get through it with like for loops and things. I keep hitting fucking semicolon there instead of comma. You can get with like for loops, but occasionally you just have to type in a bunch of crap, look at lists and stuff, and I always just assumed that that wouldn't be part of it. You gonna know what I'm doing here yet? Nope. It's getting there though. Improvement name, improvement description. It's starting to figure it out. It's starting to. There we go. I had to fuck with my music that you guys can't hear. Number built we aren't using anymore. This I had an idea for this, and then maybe we will. We could put that actually. I'm gonna put a note on this. We should put this. Actually, I'm not gonna put a note on that, but we are gonna use that. Yeah, well, we might use that. We'll pass it over since I think that's gonna be a problem for the future. God damn it, I hit semicolon again. Oh my god, now what am I doing? End, copy, or comma. Number built, work skill, comma. I could have just hit tab, I suppose, too. Yeah, and I noticed that it goes in waves. Or like, sometimes it's just, you can't type anything. County improvement data. Current amount of construction. I keep pausing, hoping it will fill it in for me. That's lowercase. We want uppercase. Then we want max. If you typing like this, it's like playing guitar. You gotta, at this point, the amount of type throughout my life, I figure I should be the perfect typist, but no. We're doing lowercase here still. Current. Yeah, exactly. And you got there's that meme with the guy with the big enter button that he can hit with his, I need one of those too. Current builders. County improvement data, current builders. Whoops. Max, current builders, max builders, those things probably don't. Max builders, yes. Current builders, I don't think we actually need anymore either, because we count. This is the whole problem that we're at right now, is we count the list. And I wonder if we're even using this anymore. I bet you we're not. We have one error here. Something is. Oh, it's just this. I don't think we're using this anymore, so let's just get it out of here. Because not max builders, wait, current builders. Max builders we are. That we definitely need. This is strange. um, I don't think we need this here. We'll deal with these problems too. I don't think we need current builders, because it should be counting the list. Max builders we need, and these other things we need, but we don't need call it. Yeah. Where it's just all in the air. They have those keyboards that are just like, I hear they're awful, where like it projects on a table and you put your fingers in, and I think the problem is like the laser hits your finger up here when you want it down here. But yeah, I like the idea of like you could Just and you get a workout at the same time. You put some weights on your arms. All right. Where were we at here? Max builders, max workers is what we're. Uh, max workers equals county improvement. Max workers. I should know better than just to delete shit out of my code. It's gonna fuck me later, but I do that all the time, and I should know better than that. But we're gonna just go with it here. And I am doing this right. Yes. New county improvement data. Just making sure. What is this thing's problem? Oh, we're not passing in the right thing. That would be the problem. We need to pass in a list. Oh wait, no, we're not passing in a list. No, this part's right. This part's wrong. We're just copying this. There we go. What are we on here? Faction, resource type, county improvement, daily. In this thing, I'm not sure if we're actually going to do it this way, but it's currently each county and county improvement has its own bonus and amount it generates, but there might be it may be better just to have a like every county improvement generates 10 or whatever. I'm almost done with this. Daily, and then we have status, and then the big one here, the county improvement, county population add improvement. All right, that's everything. So according to my screenshot of my shit over here. Let's double check. The worst would be we forget one, I forget one, and then I'm wondering later why this one thing doesn't work. Current amount of construction, max amount of construction. We're not doing current workers. Max builders, max workers. County faction daily amount status county. All right, so you're talking about this list. We want a new one. This solved the problem over here though, because I think I know. I think this is. I assumed something weird would happen this time too. But this is array. This is an array, and I think what to explain it to the layman of myself, the reference should be where it's just gonna. It's the same one that's getting edited, but I don't think it actually happens that way. Like that's what it should be doing, right? I got in a huge argument with ChatGPT about this whole thing. It was like, no. Yeah, so it should be. This shouldn't work, right? Maybe on this one though, it doesn't matter. Oh, this one it doesn't matter if they're the same. Well, wait, let's think about that. We're getting this information from here. Now, this one it doesn't matter if they're the same because it's making a copy of these things after this. These, if they're all the same, who gives a shit? Because it's just pulling them. These are like the baseline of where we get these. So this one, if it isn't working, we would have never known. Like if this doesn't work. So let's So this should I'm going to put a note in here, and then we'll try it. This should probably be new. And I'm actually going to put this at the end because I'm going to wonder what I mean by new. Uh, let's just see what happens here. And then, was this other one static? Oh, it was. Then we'll go back to where we were doing this, wherever the fuck that was. It was under the county improvement control. This isn't, I actually thought of when I was outside smoking, I was like, oh, you know what we could do is we could do it this one way and we would know. But who cares? Instead of duplicate here, we're going to go new copy. New copy. And we're going to pass in this. No, this. And then we're going to get rid of this thing. And then we're going to go like that. And then let's see what happens here. Let's see. Let me go over. New list string other list. Huh. I'm looking at that link on that my other monitor here. To list. Get out of here. I feel like I'm answering questions about cookies just constantly. Do they remember any of that shit? I guess if you say no cookies, then they don't, right? uh, all right, let me come back to that. So what the fuck are we doing here? We're going to construct one of these things. I got to put chat back up. And then we got to wait till 1 a.m. happens. We'll check, make sure everyone's doing something. And so there they are. But then is this list the same as this list? Well, we can build 2 of them now, which is, okay. So this list, so that list is the same. It is a reference. So let's go back to this. Good thing you were there. Thank you. So this should be, let's go back to this link. It's saying, oh, it popped up. I was going to move it over here. Oh, like, see, here's these. I just clicked necessary cookies only. No, this is not it. This is a different one. Over to here. Over to here. This can come over here. And then copying list to a new list. Most effective, more effective, and best practice. So this guy says new list equals new list other list. And as Odergen pointed out in the file code below, the constructor of lists pre-allocates the size of the array and copies the contents over. So let's try that. I gotta go over here. So then, what the fuck did this say? It's just new list, type of list, and then we can just go new. Why is my brain so bad? The constant question I have. New list. I'm gonna put this back over because I can't. I'm gonna forget immediately the minute it goes off my screen. I'm going to forget what it says. All right, so this says this is a new list of county improvement data. improvement data, and then we put inside here the other list. It doesn't like that. Cannot convert. Oh, this is a list of population, county population. Uh, there we go. That makes sense. All right. Yeah, it's kind of, you know, getting old sucks. That's the whole thing. I'm surprised this isn't asking me to make this different. I feel like every time I do a new list, it wants me to do it different with 8. All right, so let's do this again. And wait patiently. So we got to build this thing. We have 0 builders. Then we go to here, make sure that we actually have, I don't know why I check that every time. So we have our 5 builders. Now this should be, so now we have 0 builders, which is what we want. Now to test it further, if we go to the next day at 1 a.m. here, we can go here. All right, this looked confusing, but it's not. This is the new one because it didn't have a day of work done. This has the day of work done and the workers there. Jesus Christ. What a pain in my ass. I wonder if we could have not done all of this and just had like a thing. You know, what was telling me, ChatGPT was telling me to do something like this the other day, and I couldn't grasp what it was saying. It was this. This is for a different game, but it kept telling me to do this. So this is what it was saying. So it's the same thing. It can't. It often is confused. I forget why I was. Oh, the reason why this was happening was this was my first resource I built for this other game. And for some reason, so I messed with this game like 2 months ago, and then I decided to look at it again. For some reason, there was a constructor in the game. So in this resource, you know, and I never put constructors in my resources, which it seems to be a problem, right? Like it's something I either am doing wrong or I need to learn or something. So I must have been trying to add a constructor in there. Here's the constructor that I had in there. But it didn't like it. So I was asking ChatGPT, like, why doesn't it like this constructor? And it looked like a constructor. But then it was telling me, uh, it's saying, hey, you got to do something with this list in here. This is just for the constructor. And then I think I tried it and it still didn't like it. And then it was saying do this, but then I couldn't figure out how this would work because it's different, if this makes sense. Like how, I know it's an override, but I don't understand how it, and this is just, you know, my lack of C# knowledge or Godot knowledge, whatever. My ignorance is very clear here. I don't understand how you can have 2 of these and you can, like, what, and maybe it's just because ChatGPT is wrong. That's a good idea, actually, Wind, as well. Is like try to make a constructor. So it was just giving me shit, basically. It was saying the Visual Studio or something was saying, like, you just can't do this. Have a constructor here. And I didn't, you know, I'm not even caring about if it's doing references. I was just trying to get the constructor to work. Uh, I can't remember what error it was saying, though. And obviously, I didn't put that in here. I just put in, why doesn't it like this constructor? Um, and then I changed it to how it liked it, or it wanted me to do it, and it still didn't like it. Oh, it does it? Maybe that's why I didn't like it. But now this makes more sense. This wouldn't have mattered, but like this isn't initialized up there. I don't know. I just got rid of the constructor and it worked fine. But I was trying to, if I'm trying, I'm always trying to like learn more. The way I said it, trying to learn. Fuck. Always trying to improve my knowledge of how shit works. Uh, all right, this works. What were we trying to fix? What did we do? Did we fix this? I think we're done with that. All right, we just fixed that. This is definitely showing correctly, and we're not going to test it anymore because if we do, then we might find out it doesn't work right. Uh, exactly. Oh my God. And I think the thing for me, and I hope it's not like this for most people, is I gotta run into the thing being broken like 100 times, and then it finally, like my brain goes, oh yeah, this is that thing that was broken one time. Make sure the event log isn't saving events past. Can we look at these other ones? How much time do I got left? Got like 15, 13 minutes. When you take over a county, all county improvements need to be updated to the current county. This is what we were starting on in the first place, was this thing. And we fixed this. This is done. This works now. We only tested it on one thing. We'll just do that, and we'll test. I guess we'll test it again. We got to go up to our. We'll do this one. And we'll do a test. All right, so we should have 4 things that we can build now because the production has 3 things and it's 3 county improvements. So we have our county improvements. This one's grayed out, which is what we want because I made it really expensive. Let's build a lumberjack station. We only can have 2 builders there? That's fine. Let's build an additional lumberjack station. So we have 2 lumberjack stations being built. Something's broken though. We're not losing our influence isn't going down. We can just build everything forever. And I looked at that earlier and I said, oh yeah, that's fine, whatever. Charge for building. Are we getting bugs when that happens? No. Charge for building. What is this thing? This is the county AI. That's a different thing. Yes button. The player faction. The selected possible building control. County improvement data. I wonder if when we close this, I bet you it is. No, it didn't do it. I was thinking that it was when we close that it would update this. I wonder if this thing. No, none of my ideas work there. I was thinking that we're not. It was working a second ago because I remember I saw a negative 490 over there. So let's look here. What's the cost of this? The lumberjack is 250. We know that this is oh, I took this thing out because this shouldn't be here. I mean, even if it's necessary, currently necessary, it shouldn't be there. But this doesn't update those labels. This pile of garbage doesn't update those labels. So let's go back to that thing. That was this thing. And let's just get rid of it. Charge for building. banker. We're putting in the player faction. We'll do this. I was thinking, I was like, oh, maybe it's this, but I think we can just, oh, this will be a better test here. County improvement data, improvement name, costs, uh, influence costs, and was charged to and their influence is nope. And their influence is now I don't know how it would not how it would get a different faction data, but maybe the faction data's busted. Maybe everything's broken. All of the faction resources are broken. I did, edit the faction resource today, the faction data resource. All right, let's do a Fisher's Shed and just see. Yeah, they didn't come off down here. Fisher's Shed costs 500, and we got a typo in here, but it's not, doesn't matter that much. And was charged to the shipbirds, and their influence is 1500. So that's happening actually before this. So we need this after this. It's not going to tell us any good information. I mean, it's possible the faction data thing broke too. Maybe influence isn't exported. No, it is because I can type it in there. And their influence is 1,000. So either the faction data, the resource isn't working, the copy isn't working up here, or this thing isn't updating, which is possible this isn't updating. Though I swear to God it was updating earlier. Trying to think of another thing we could charge. I don't think we have a charge for this. Let's close this. I said I know. Oh, so at 1 a.m. all of the charges kicked off. So that's an issue of uh, we need to update the top row when we do this. Which what we could do is top bar control instance, I don't know. Update resource labels? Sure. Whoops. Force update? No. Update resource labels. I wonder if that's just been there the whole time and I didn't notice that it did that. I swear it was working a second ago. Maybe I had the update thing and that one thing and that was a workaround, but yeah. We don't want it in here though, actually, because otherwise it's going to update the resources every time the AI does it. So we want to go back to this confirmation thing. But the problem with that, we just have it right here. Yeah, I bet you that's what that thing was for. But that's dumb to have it update everything. It doesn't need to update. But maybe I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's see. There we go. So what were we doing before I got distracted by that? We were just going to test it again. Multiple of the same. I think, yeah, we were just going to test this again. Multiple of the same. 2 Fisher's sheds under construction. How much? I got 500 left. Let's throw in a lumberjack shack. This is going to be interesting too. This is going to be an interesting test because we don't have enough people to build all of this. And I don't think I've ever tested this. So at 1 o'clock, we have a bunch of people working. Joker, how's it going? I don't think I have a wiggle going. People, what are you talking about? I don't think I have a wiggle going yet. Okay, so we have 5 people building this one, 3 people building that one. 6, 7, 8. That's right. Just by bad luck, we have 2 people that are unhelpful. So they're not going to do anything. Let's let this run a little faster. And then both of them are completed. All right, so here's a problem that I have in my notes. The problem is everyone is set to work before building, so they'll never build that lumberjack shack. They're going to work here for the rest of eternity. Yeah, they'll just all work there. So I think we're going to have to, I mean, if it happened this quickly and I'm just fucking around, it means that that's going to happen more frequently than I was thinking. We need to move construction, check for construction first, so it builds, the people will build first, which means that they'll leave their job of working at the fishing shack to build stuff, which is kind of not what I wanted to do. But I think that will, this is done. We already finished this. This is done. Let's add this. What was your idea, Wind? What did you tell me? I'm gonna put it in this note here. I already forgot. On tree. Try on tree enter instead of ready. I'm just gonna save this note here. Need more wiggles. You know, I should put more wiggles in there. The tornado is what I should do. But let me put a note in here because we're going to have to move. We're going to do this before, not today. Move the population building, constructing county improvements above working. Otherwise, they won't ever build anything. And I had a note about this, like, and one of the other solutions is to make it so that you could tell people, like, prioritize buildings, like, hey, this is a priority. I think the biggest thing will be as a player, and we'll probably want to change this, you know, at some point. Oh, I was like, where's my next round? I guess it's that far down the list, huh? As a player, you would have to be very conscious of what's going on right now. Well, right now it's even worse, where you would you're fucked. But let's say we even had the prioritize button. But if you queued up a bunch of construction like I like to do, I like to oh fuck man, I just want to build all this stuff. That's gonna go down bad. In the current situation, you would just be constructing and your people would all starve and it'd be awful. So that's going to be a problem at some point. But we do need to move that to the top in the temporary times. Let's go back to my list because I think I'm actually pretty close to being done. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let's put this up here. This one I want to do still too, but we're getting here. When you take over a county, we got to test this. We got to look. I didn't do anything with that. Actually, this should actually work now that with the changes that I made, because it never checks when you go to county improvement. It doesn't check the county at all. It always, so that should work, but we still have to test it. This one is what I was going to do next, but we'll do that tomorrow first thing. Move the population constructing county improvements above working. That was the thing we just talked about. Move all this is the one we just did. We're done with that. We're getting there. Maybe tomorrow. Okay, it's not going to be tomorrow. Maybe next week we can build and push to whatchamacallit, GitHub or whatever. Merge to main. I was curious, what did I call these? 0.0.2. That's perfect. So we'll be at 0.0.3. Almost done with the game at that point, right? All right, that's it for me, guys. Thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you. Oh wait, let me push this. I deleted the other branches, the other dead branches before I started streaming. What did we do today? We moved. We didn't do any wiggling. Moved county. All county improvements to faction data and fixed a resource copying issue. That's what we did. Commit. Push. All right. That's it for real. Thank you guys. I will talk to you next time. Have a good rest of your day, morning,